What's up guys, it's Roger and welcome back to the channel. And today we're playing some Trials of Osiris on the Burnout on our Hunter here. Now, this is a build that's going to be pretty simple and straightforward, but I'm pretty excited to show it off to you guys. Now, first of all, here we can start where we usually do on our armor and our mods. Now, you can see here I just have some targeting stuff for our shotgun and our hand cannon, which we'll get to very soon. In terms of generating orbs, I have a heavy-handed mod right here, a firepower mod, and a Reaper mod. So we get orbs from getting a grenade kill, an empowered melee kill, or a kill after we use our dodge. And then when we do dodge, we get 20%, around 20% of our innate energy back, because we do have two bomber mods on here. And then you can see we have Absolution, Orbs Restoration, and Insulation, which are the three mods that I like to use in this build especially, so we can get our abilities back really quickly by picking up those orbs. Now down here you can see the exotic we're going to be using in this build is going to be the Lucky Pants. I like these things quite a bit, haven't used them in a while though. Now these say a lot of stuff here, but essentially all you need to know is that when you switch to your hand cannon, you're going to get something called illegally modded holster. Now, what that's going to do, if that hand cannon, mind you, make sure that hand cannon actually matches your subclass energy type, so like mine is an arc hand cannon, or I think if it's just kinetic, right? Kinetic, good. So you take that hand cannon out, and for the next few seconds, you're going to get very fast ready speeds, which is obviously very nice, and they're going to be more accurate. I believe that's the actual like accuracy cone, which is very nice stuff. It'll shrink that down, help you hit those headshots very effectively. It also does help with the AE of the guns a little bit, so that's nice, and it does give a damage buff that only applies in PvE, so we don't need to worry about that part of it, but for the most part, this is just going to help us pull our hand cannon out really quickly, and it'll help us hit our target more effectively. Now, every Lucky Pants user needs something to pull out of those pants, and usually that's my long schlonger, but today we're going to be using the Waking Vigil hand cannon. Now, this is one of my favorite hand cannons in the entire game. I spent a long time trying to get some good god rolls, and remember I got this one, and then I just never really used it much, because there's so many other hand cannons and weapons that I go through all the time that I don't usually get back to this one very often, but I was excited looking through my vault to pull it out today, and that's what we're doing. So you can see here we have True Sight, Ricochet rounds, rapid hit, and kill clip, which work very well together. Of course, a range masterwork is beautiful. This is pretty close to a god roll. This thing lacks a little bit in range compared to some other 140 hand cannons, but it still has pretty darn good range. So here's what's so good about this. We can get kill clip after our first kill, and to help with the reload speed, we have rapid hit here. So each time we hit a precision hit, it's going to give us increased stability and reload speed. So if you 3-tap somebody, you're going to be reloading pretty quickly, honestly, almost as quick as somebody with Outlaw is. So this is essentially like a makeshift Outlaw, but we also get the benefit of that extra stability on there. So you can come in with the extra stability from the rapid hit while you have your kill clip procced and take on the next guy. You'll see that a few times in the gameplay today where we actually get this kill clip going crazy, and it feels amazing. Do have on the Wastelander M5 shotgun right here for our special weapon. You can see this is a lightweight frame shotgun, some of my favorite in the entire game. I do almost have 1,000 kills on this thing, which is a pretty good testament to how much I love it and how much I have actually used it. This does give us plus 20 mobility when we have it out in our hands, and a 6.25% sprint speed bonus, which will help us, especially with our blink, which we're using today, to get on top of our enemies very quickly and take them out. Now our R3.0 is pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy in here. We have on Gathering Storm, I have on Gambler's Dodge. If we dodge near somebody, it's going to give us our melee ability straight back up. That melee ability is going to be Combination Blow. So if we kill somebody, we do get a full heal off of it. Well, not a full heal, but a pretty darn good heal. And you also get to refill your class ability energy all the way back up, which is very nice. So you can chain your dodge and your punch back and forth with each other very nicely. I'm using Blink right here because I'm not some little freaky grasshopper boy. I like blinking, but you can use the jump if you want to. I am using a flashbang grenade, and you'll see throughout the gameplay today that I use those a pretty great effect to kind of get our enemies distracted, get them running away, and then we can push on top of them quite effectively. Now over for our aspects, I am going to be using Flow State. So if we do get somebody jolted and we take them out, then we will get amplified. It says down here, while you are amplified, your dodge recharges more quickly, you are more resilient while dodging, and your reload speed is greatly increased. On top of that, we have the regular bonuses from our amplified, which is a farther movement speed and a slide speed. Very good stuff. Weapon handling is also pushed up there a lot. So a lot of good stuff from our amplified there. Now, secondly, on our aspects here, we're going to be using Lethal Current. This gives us another 2 fragment slots. Both of these have 2 fragment slots. We love to see that. Now, this says after we dodge. So again, we use our dodge near somebody. That's going to give us all of our Combination Blow energy back up. We take them out with the Combination Blow and Lethal Current combination right there. That is going off of our Combination Blow to fully recharge our dodge. Then we could dodge near another enemy and keep repeating that Combination Blow, Lethal Current, and Gambler's Dodge combo over and over, and that's something you're going to see a lot in the gameplay today, especially when we use that with our shotgun to go hand in hand to take these enemies out. Now, you can see down here for our fragments, so we can finish this off. We have on Spark of Haste. You have greatly increased resilience, recovery, and mobility while sprinting. So you sprint for a few seconds, and you're going to get plus 30 to all 3 of those stats. You're going to see I have a little bit of a lower mobility. I think these people who freak about their mobility on Hunter so much are just absolute fools, especially on Arc Hunter. You want to know why? Because when you're amplified on Arc Hunter, especially with your flow state on, your dodge flies back up. Another thing, I actually am at max mobility, because look right here. I'm at 60, right? Whenever I have this on, I'm at 90. Whenever I have my shotgun out, that's also a plus 20. So I can actually go to 110 with this build. Pretty simple stuff. There's so much stuff in your kit to help you get your dodge back. Please don't sit here and think that you have to be on 100 mobile all the time, because you really don't. And I understand some of you are like, die hard on certain ideas in this game, and that's one of the ones that's like stuck in some people's heads, but it's really not as big of a deal as you make it out to be. After that, I have on Spark of Volts because I wanted to make sure I could have 100 recovery, and I needed to have this on just to do that. I have on Spark of Recharge. That says when we're critically wounded, your melee and grenade energy regenerates more quickly. That'll just help us have our melee and our nade up as often as possible. And last but not least, Spark of Ions. Defeating a jolted target creates an ionic trace. So again, we punch somebody, they die, we pick up an ionic trace from that, and then that's going to help us get our abilities back as often as possible. There are a few things I want to talk about on our artifact here. First of all is electric armor. You stay amplified longer while your arc subclass is equipped. Obviously that's very nice, so we can stay amplified for a longer period of time. After that, we get extra resistance from actual damage while we are amplified. So obviously very good there. We can actually take more enemies out and take more damage into ourselves when we are amplified. And then last but not least is lightning strikes twice. After you throw a grenade, you're going to gain increased grenade recharge for a short time. And if you do get arc final blows, it actually extends the duration of that, which is going to be one extra way that we can get our flashbang grenades back that much faster. If you do have any questions about the build, please feel free to leave those in the comment section or join the Blinkville Discord server. I'm going to have that linked in the top right and in the description. If you want to see my Blink Warlock build that I made yesterday, go ahead and check that out next. I'm going to have that linked on the end screen so you can go ahead and watch it after this one. All that being said, I hope you do enjoy the video. If you want to leave me a like or subscribe at any point to show me that you are enjoying the video, I'd very much appreciate that. But with all that being said, I think we're ready to go into this gameplay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and blink on into it. Now for our first few clips here, there's not going to be any game audio, so I do apologize for that. I messed up in my recordings for a little bit, but it will come on very soon, so apologies, but thank you for your patience. That being said, we have a good first play here, talking about these flashbang grenades like I was in the intro. You see, I used my flashbang grenade, baited my enemies through that hallway with the extra movement speed I had there, and combining that with my blink, I was able to get a lot of distance on them. After I saw they were chasing me with my radar pings, I threw the flashbang grenade down on the ground. They ran into that, I got a nice collateral with my shotgun and took them out. I was doing a lot of shotgun plays, as you can see in this play right there. It was one of my main ways that I was playing this weekend, but there's plays like this too. You don't have to go and challenge over in the courtyard. The outside area here is the courtyard, and this weekend everybody's spawning out there, so a lot of people are fighting out there. But remember, just because Bungie puts you somewhere, they say, hey, your plopping little ass cheeks are going to sit down right here, and this is where you're spawning. That doesn't mean that you have to fight from there every single round. Use your movement abilities, get around the map, and get to a very functional place that you can actually take your enemies on with your loadout being at its max efficiency. That's what I like to do a lot of the time. So I'll go through these side entrances and towards the middle of the map when I do spawn. And then I switch to my hand cannon when I get there, which procs my lucky pants, and then I take some good hand cannon shots at my enemies. If I can get a quick pick, then I'm going to proc my kill clip and I can go off. I was feeling pretty good with the hand cannon, as you can see with these shots right here. I feel like I just tapped in my fucking Goku Ultra Instinct right there, because I did not miss a single headshot on those guys, and usually when I'm that close to the 140, I might miss a few shots on the head, but holy heck, I just whipped on those guys. And I think I have my illegally modded holster there. You can see left side of the screen, it did say out of luck right there. So basically, here's how illegally modded holster is going to work. When you switch to it, it's going to work for a few seconds. I think it's around like 10 seconds or so, and then I believe once it actually runs out, you can see the left side of the screen, it's on right now, and I used it to smack these first two guys down. Rapid hit times 3 is going to help me reload really quickly and grab my kill clip. When you do have kill clip, you're going to be hitting anywhere from around 87 to 90 damage to the head. So from what I've seen, when you do have kill clip on these 140, on this waking vigil right here, you're going to be able to one body and two head your enemies, which is absolutely insane. Your TTK kicks up so fast when you can do that, and it was something that I was loving to do on my enemies a lot. Right here is a great angle that I loved sitting at, because right there, like as I'm saying, look how fast I reloaded right there. And then I hit the next guy in the head for 88 because I was able to reload really quickly, and my rapid hit was still on times 3, so I had a bunch of extra stability if he started shooting at me anyways. I forgot just how much I love the Waking Vigil, and combining it with a Lucky Pants build right here was such a good idea. I'm so glad that I did this. I haven't touched Lucky Pants in a long time, and I was looking around for what I want to use for a build. I was like, you know, maybe I do this and I can find a nice little arc hand cannon or something, and it all came together so beautifully. Now, I do want to say there's some good substitutes if you don't have a Waking Vigil, because I know a lot of you, especially newer players, are not going to have one, and that's completely fine. If you don't, I would recommend using a Cantata hand cannon. It's another arc legendary hand cannon of the 140 archetype. Now, I don't exactly know if it's available in the world pool right now for the actual droppable guns. Part of me feels like it is, and then part of me feels like it's not. I apologize, but you can probably look it up and find out if it's actually available right now. Now, that being said, if you do have one in your Volt, I definitely recommend pulling it out. If you have a Waking Vigil, I'd say use the Waking Vigil over that. Oh, great play right here. Use our dodge to get backwards on that Titan right there. And I mean, I had to give him a little bag. Just had to squish the ball sack down in his face. You know, make a little noise right in his face because, come on, brother. If you can't even crutch Titan, then you can't crutch much. I mean, that's just sad. So I had to put the ball sack in his face real quick. But just one, just a respect bag, you know? We're not going crazy bags. I don't go crazy bags unless someone bags me. But if I just want to do a little boop on their little noggin, you know, I do that sometimes. Now that being said, like we were talking about, I really like this Lucky Pants. You can do a lot of fun different hand cannon builds, and that's the fun thing is you can use any hand cannon in the game. If you do want to do a Void build or a Solar build, there's so many hand cannons that you can go ahead and do that with. The new hand cannon, if you really like them from Neo Muna, for example, the Epochal Integration, I think it's called, is Solar. So you can put on a Solar build and have some fun with your Lucky Pants. So there's a lot of different stuff that I recommend you guys look around and just have some fun with Lucky Pants this weekend, because while they are not pulled out very often or talked about very often, I think that's a little silly because they're actually quite a solid exotic and one that you should give a little bit more respect. Now you can see here, I'm trying to effectively use that flashbang grenade. I threw it off the wall on the first guy, it bounced off, it did some damage. Now, if you're ever wondering how blind your enemy is from your flashbang grenade, just look at how much damage it does. Because the closer your enemy is to the flashbang grenade, the longer and more of a vicious flash is actually going to be applied to them. Think of it like this. If I walked up to your face, and I had a very bright flashlight, and I pumped that baby on full force right into your retinas, you probably would be having quite a hard time seeing, wouldn't you? Yeah, I would think so. But if I was all the way across the room, and I did it to you, you'd be like, oh man, that's kind of bright, but you'd still be able to see me. And that's the same thing with these flashbang grenades. When you're popping that baby straight into someone's left eyeball, and it absolutely goes off and frags them, yeah, they're gonna get pretty blinded. So when I see 27 damage come off, I know they're not very blind. But if I see somebody get hit by my flashbang grenade for 100 or over 100 damage, then I know that they have no sights on their screen right now. And that is when you want to push. You can see right there, I throw in the flashbang, we're not getting any damage procs. So I didn't really want to be too crazy with that, but I had a good lethal current on for my dodge, so I wanted to be effective with that. Again, flying in, lethal current again, smacks that guy, and we actually killed the second guy next to him with the lethal current blowing up, and he died to the jolt that came off of that lethal current. You gotta remember that stuff, guys. Lethal current, right here, boom, smack the second guy. It's an amazing tool you can use. And that third guy there, just in case he pushed me, since I was so low health, what I did is I threw my flashbang grenade down on the ground. That way, if he pushed me, that would fly straight into his butthole, blow up, that bussy would be bopped in very simple terms. Now you can see here, a lot of the times what I was doing this weekend is flying in with the shotgun. It's something you're going to be doing a lot, and actually something I do want to mention before I forget. When you have a Lucky Pants build, I think it's better to use a energy hand cannon, because you will start the match on your kinetic weapon, and then you can switch to your energy weapon. Because you gotta remember, illegally modded holster, watch the left side of the screen right now, for instance, it just procced because I pulled out my hand cannon. So you want to be on something that's not going to have that immediately proccing when the round starts, because when the game starts, if you have that gun out, it will immediately proc that perk, and it will probably waste it for you can get into combat. So the other thing I would recommend to you is make sure you switch to your other weapon before the round ends, so that when you spawn in, you're on your shotgun, for example. See here how I spawned in on my shotgun? And since I spawned in on my shotgun, I can switch right here to my hand cannon. Boom, I have a legally modded holster, and I made good use of it. I took out the first guy, I instantly reloaded, I grabbed my kill clip, I get a good nade in there that blinds the other guy really well, helps my teammates out. Unfortunately, the sword slash doesn't really work out here, which is just like, you know, it happens because he got banged up by my teammates, but I did get a pretty good sword slash right here. I had to get a good sword kill for you guys, so that there you go. That guy never saw it coming, honestly. I mean, wow, it was some really good lock on from the eager edge right there. I mean, you just gotta love those plays. Now, coming into the next clip here, you can see I do have my lethal current on. I'm flying in, I smack this guy pretty good. I do another dodge as soon as I kill him. Remember how we were talking about earlier? These abilities chain off of each other really well. So since I killed him with my lethal current and combination blow, I immediately got my entire dodge back, which let me proc my lethal current a second time to blink behind the second guy and take him out. Same thing in this round. I'm flying up, I'm taking out two guys, I dodge again in case I can use my lethal current, but I decided to flick to my hand cannon with illegally modded hand holster there. For some reason my brain wanted to say illegally modded hamster, which, I mean, that does sound pretty cool. I don't really know what kind of illegal mods you could put on your hamster. Maybe like a bionic like legs or something, and then he could kind of scurry around really fast. Okay, I'm getting off topic, but the point is, an illegally modded hamster would be really cool, but illegally modded holster is, in my opinion, probably a little bit more useful. Now you can see here, people will fly in very quickly to mid, so be sure that you're being careful of that. Make sure you have your dodge up or your blink ready so you can get out of their line of sight. What was I doing here? Well, I threw my flashbang behind that guy, so he would probably want to run away from it. Either that, or as soon as I saw he was actually blinded, I was going to blink on top of him and take him out with a shotgun blast. But it worked out just fine, where he ran away, and so I was able to just take him out with the hand cannon. Same thing with this guy, you know, he flies in, I punch him out real good there. Should have rezzed my teammate, but I saw this guy was going for the first res, so I used my dodge, come up behind him, and just take him out with a well-placed shot from our Wastelander right there. And then I farmed some extra damage because, you know, why not? We gotta be a pretty boy on that leaderboard, don't we? Now you can see here, we're flying up to the outside of the map. Nice little tap on that guy. I saw this last guy was walking up, so instead of reloading, I went ahead and stopped my reload. If you're ever reloading and you want to stop it, you can just start sprinting, because once you start sprinting, it'll stop your actual reload animation, assuming that you're, you know, don't have, or that you have some extra bullets left in the mag, then it's a pretty good idea in my opinion. And you can see there I went absolutely balls to the wall, and this is leading up to a few of our last plays here, so I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Tell me if you guys have fun with this build this weekend, and if you want to see my Warlock build, like I said, that I made from yesterday, I'm going to have that linked on the end screen, so you can go ahead and watch that next. If you want to leave me a like or subscribe, I'd very much appreciate that. We're very rapidly approaching 6,000 subs, and I'd love to hit that milestone with you guys very, very soon here, maybe even by the end of the month. Would be crazy. I know it's a pretty crazy goal, but hey, sometimes it's good to set some crazy goals for yourself so you can be proud when you do it. All that being said, I'm going to let these last few plays play out for you guys. As I say, thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day, Guardians.